Playing against a Yorion deck. Probably have to mulligan. I'd be pretty happy if like this Lantern was a non-Saga land though. Yeah, the cursed beginning of League prediction. Although I kind of feel like we've somewhat broken the curse recently. I guess we keep this. I think I put back the Sentinel because I'm gonna go. I think turn 1 Reclaimer. Maybe my Reclaimer dies, but I want this to find my Kirin. I want this to find my Conjurant. 80 cards, by the way. Yeah, hard to play around the Ragavan. It's Ditto. He's back. I mean, I'm not familiar with Ditto. Name sounds familiar. Stupid Renin 6. Have I tried Fable and Red Block Rock? I took out Turok and Kolaghan's command, played 2 Fables, seems solid in my playtesting. I would never cut any of the Turoks. Turok's like one of the main reasons to play the deck. I have tried Fable. I've generally found Fable to be like less impressive than Kroxus Season Pyromancer, Kolaghan's Command, or Turok. It's like way more grindy than Liliana, but Liliana is also like not there so much to be good in the grindy matchups as it is like more for the linear matchups anyways. I also like, I think that Fable is fine and like the fair decks in Modern. Again, usually weaker than a lot of the other options in my opinion, and also potentially... Hold on. A counterspell? They have a counterspell. Potentially, you know, the cards may be good in like the creativity decks, but I'm just like not a big fan of it in like the rock shells. Yeah, this I agree that this deck does have a soft time to Terra Elemental. And it's also bad against Ragavan and Turin on the draw. Yeah, Rag into Ren into Teferi. I went to counterspell into Teferi. On the play. Rough stuff. Eldarmy's Call. I don't know what they're calling for. Solitude. This is this kind of deck's worst matchup. Probably. Although I feel like Kirin Conduit's fine in the matchup, and I think Titania's like gives you like some degree of inevitability, maybe not as much as you might like though. Yeah, so they can Solitude my Kirin and then rebuild with Ren and 6. Aether Vial is kind of nice though. I think I just have to go for the Kirin combo here, by the way. And then I get to play my Saga, make my Saga token next turn. Yeah, I mean, them ultimating Ren is kind of interesting in this spot, right? Because like they either have the choice to ultimate the Ren, or use the Ren to rebuild their lands. But you know, maybe they get to just like tick up once and then ultimate. So I think I want a Ranger-Captain for Reclaimer this turn over making a Saga token. Okay. They do Emblem. Right now they have Eldarmy's Call and Counterspell in the yard. But Skyclave Apparition is in the deck as an answer to Walkers. I mean, I think Skyclave Apparition is generally underpowered in Modern. I have been pretty unimpressed by it in recent memory. It is something you can play, but again, I've just been kind of generally unimpressed by it. So if my opponent corrects the fetch, I think I just pop the Lantern now, so they can't Eldarmer's Call. Let's go! What the hell? Like, they conceded? That feels like super early. Nice. Oh, I have to sideboard super fast. Fuck, I hate this. I hate this so much. What a terrible day to have to sideboard super fast. Yeah, the sideboard timer is bugged. It's down to 1 minute, or I'm pretty sure it's bugged. I think that's what we've been told. I'm gonna try to keep this hand. My Vial will live, and if it doesn't, we'll have Reclaimer. And I'll draw lands. You will live. Aether Vial, you're going to live. Okay, opponent has Ren, they're just mistapping. Hate Ren in 6. But if we draw a land, it could go Spellskite, Vial, and Reclaimer. Maybe we'll be okay. We did draw the land, so no complaining for a couple minutes. Thoughts on Bring Flightscape Shift? I think that deck's good. If you type exclamation point Kirin, you can get a longer deck tech of the deck, but the main combo is Celestial Kirin says whenever you cast a spirit spell, spirit or arcane spell, you destroy all permanents with mana value equal to that spell's mana cost. And Ugin's Conduit is the only spirit you can cast for 0, I believe. Maybe the only modern legal one. And so you play this with Celestial Kirin, you blow up all 0 mana permanents, including lands. You can also violet it. Okay, the answer to Aether Vial decks being soft to ending was Spellskite all along. A lot of good draws here. Definitely want this Reclaimer to live, though. Dang it. The 4-color deck having removal. What has the world come to? May have to settle this in game 3. Yeah. Okay. Get you on the play for game 3, though. Evoking Solitude, destroy all land. Solitude is not a spirit, and Solitude's mana value is 5, even when you evoke it. It only works with spirits. It's not any spell. Okay. Do I want to change anything? I think I am interested in, like, second Forge-Tender over the Hierarch, potentially. Click submit. Let's keep this. I think I'm putting back Eldarmer's Call. Zuran Orb became legal in Image 2, I think. Yeah, I saw the Roe v. Wade unturned. It's obviously, like, very frustrating, but it's hard to... Caleb D talks about this a lot. It's always, like, such a... It's so rough to, like, be a streamer during these big, like, you know, moments in time. And we have so fucking many of them these last few years, too. People want to have Aspiring Spike be a source of warmth and comfort, and I just... don't have the emotional bandwidth to cradle all 1,500 of you right now, but 80 cards, by the way. All you're gonna get is Stunlock Spike going on deranged political rants, and nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants rants about how our fucking government keeps just, like, explicitly taking actions that are, like, against the majority of the will of the American public, and it's just so frustrating. It's just so frustrating that they don't care at all what the will of the people is. Llama, thank you for 16 months. Appreciate ya. Like, yeah, yesterday too, they took away the ability for states to ban certain guns after in the wake of, like, in the wake of like the most prolific shooting in America ever, the wake of one of the most prolific shootings ever, yesterday to decide, you know what, let's actually inhibit the state's abilities to limit gun rights. Because when there's a huge public outcry for more gun restrictions, the Supreme Court's just like, let's actually bring back gun restrictions. Because they're just it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. No. I don't think I'm super articulate when it comes to this kind of stuff. I definitely share a lot of your frustrations. Try not to get too stun locked, and we can play the magic, but shit's bad, dude. Shit's bad. That isn't really what happened. What isn't really what happened? The Supreme Court didn't unrestrict some gun rights yesterday. That is absolutely what happened. And it is absolutely the case that the majority of America wanted some kind of, change to gun restrictions after the Uvalde shooting in Texas. And this just happens like every single time, especially me living in Texas. I see it happen every single time that something horrible happens, and you just see like the government like just attack, LGBTQ rights instead to distract from like the horrendous like gun issues. It's horrible. You say the will of people. I think I'd be surprised what a lot of people believe. I mean, with peace and love, shut the fuck up. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting your comments. Just let me ramble a little bit. I'm rambling. I'm getting a little stun locked. I know this is not what people come here for, but it's just every single time we have these conversations, it just devolves into actually, Spike. And I just let me ramble a little bit, all right? Yeah, the Democrats suck. This is also okay. Let's just talk about politics for a little bit. As someone who like very much identifies with like wanting healthcare reform and wanting infrastructure reform in America, it's so frustrating to me to see like the right-wing party paints like the Democratic Party as some kind of radical socialist engine, when the reality is that Joe Biden, all he does is tweet about how we need to do something. He's the fucking president. All he does is tweet about how we need to do something. He never does anything. And the Democratic Party in general is just like incredibly like center lane. And like the right-wing party is just, it paints them as like these crazy socialists that I wish they were. It's just so frustrating. Morality thing with 7 months, 3 months, appreciate you. The Democrats are just so pathetic. I know. Just like the whole fucking Biden campaign, like you just have like the Republicans ran on the issue that Joe Biden is this radical, insane socialist that is going to completely upend the country, and it was just like so unbelievable, but everybody just bought into it. It was so frustrating to me. Destructo with the 10-pack just moved to Italy, bruh. Yeah, all the Europeans get to sit back smoking their cigarettes and drinking their nitro coffee and their espressos with the baguettes. Oh, Spike, why do you not simply move to Italy or France? Mon ami, come on, it's so simple. Uproot your life, abandon your family, immigrate. They won't take you. They definitely won't take you. Oh man. Oh, mon ami, come to France, Spike. Come with me. Live. We'll eat baguettes. Simply immigrate to France. Thank you to all my Europeans in the chat. Oh, I think I would actually move to Chile. If I was gonna flee the country, which is not something I am planning on doing, I would probably go to Chile. Chile's got like, I really like. This is kind of a dumb thing to like about a country, but I like how much north-south they have. I don't like how much longitude they have, where like you can be like right down to Antarctica, you can be up and it's really warm. I really like that about Chile, is like their geography. Falado, thank you for the 12 months, appreciate you. Chile's not a great choice for looking a place that's less awful. I've heard like really mixed things about Chile. Esther's brother was there for like 6 months. Apparently like the crime rate's really low, but I actually don't really know much about like the politics or anything beyond. I know that it's really pretty, I know the crime rate is low, and I know that like geographically it seems like a fun place to live. Yeah, I'm not currently planning on fleeing the country. I'm just, ranting a little bit. And again, it's always so tough to be a streamer during these like big like cultural moments. My opponent is playing EE on 2, but they're dead to me attacking them. So they must have like Solitude. Okay, well, we play on. My opponent's at 4 life. They still have their Yorion. I don't think they have a land in hand. Wait, they're targeting the Reclaimer? They targeted Reclaimer. Reclaimer was just a 1-power creature. I don't, sorry, I shouldn't have rambled so much. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But my opponent was also tanking forever. It was the perfect time to ramble. I think I just get another Ranger Captain. Put my opponent to 1. Oh, I cited out the Hierarch? Oh no, I cited out the Hierarch. Oh man. Okay. I guess I'm getting another Reclaimer. Giver's maybe better. I guess I can get the Giver. Cracking their upkeep? I don't think so. I think cracking their upkeep just like puts me dead to any like instant speed removal, right? Or like Solitude pitch. I just want to have lethal attackers. Let's go. Can't believe we won this match. Oh, what's cool about second Ranger? I guess if they have Solitude, they're exiling one, blocking the other. Never mind. But I was thinking it would maybe be cool that I'm gonna try to keep this hand. I know it's got 6 lands and a Vial, but we've got an Urza Saga. We have Boseiju as utility land, Flagstones as utility land, and I believe in the top of the library. What are good decks against John? Most decks. Burn is probably the best, actually. Yeah, coping hard today, huh? Okay, our Saga tokens will be huge. And before we draw another Vial, and we'd love to draw another Vial here. We love it. Super happy. Yeah. Most decks are good against Jund usually. Getting shredded. Why was that a keep? Maybe it wasn't, but I mean, hands that have like Flagstones, Vial, Urza Saga on the play are like usually very strong. This like definitely sets you up to like where like just one Eldormi's Call for Titania or just the Titania itself gives this deck a really nice, powerful, cohesive game plan. You have Urza Saga as a mana sink. The Vials make your Saga tokens bigger. I think it's close, but this is maybe what you might in the business could call a greedy keep. But now that I have drawn Eldormi's Call, like I just have like a good game plan of going for Titania Zuran Orb. Not this turn, but in a couple turns. Yesterday was Slitherhead played it all. No, the Slitherhead post was unfortunately just a shit post. Or really just me, like I like Slitherhead, so I just posted a picture of it. Wasn't really any deeper than that, unfortunately. So I guess I can get the... No, I just have to get the orb. And then next turn I can go double call, call in maybe a 3-drop off the Vial if I want to. In the following turn, I have Eldarmer's Call Titania. Opponent is a Thief. What echo did I submit to an upcoming competitive Pioneer tournament? Top 3. I recently have been playing a lot of the blue-red Delver deck. That's what I got my constructed token with. My top 3 decks would probably be Delver, Phoenix, Mono Green, or yeah, probably those 3. I could also go for Kirin, but I think that's pretty bad with the Zuran Orb and the Construct being out there. Yeah, this is definitely not a turn to get in. Oh, whoops. They're bolting me. Okay, it's interesting. Any Greasefang Brews? Not in Pioneer. No, or not any new Greasefang Brews in Pioneer, I should say. At 10. So I think I'm just sending both these up. I think my opponent Connive is kind of dangerous, but I also really need like both of these Eldarmer's Calls to resolve, which I guess puts me in a weird spot, huh? 4, 6, put me to... Yeah, I should actually be fine. I'm just gonna get Knight of the Reliquary. And then Knight of the Reliquary will be really big with the Zuran Orb. My camera's blurry. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. It gets like this pretty often, though. Do you think Mono Green deck in Pioneer is a hard deck to play skill intensive? Kind of. I mean, I think every deck in Magic is, like, to some extent, difficult to play. I'd say that there are very few decks in Magic that are just easy. I would say that, you know, it's maybe one of the easier ones to play proficiently, one of the harder ones to play masterfully. Mart, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you. Sacking the bubble before attacking with Construct, kind of an easy thing to miss when you don't play a lot of Constructs in your Ragavan deck. I think I don't have to like do this. I have to get really close. What do you like about Ugin's Construct? Ugin's Conjurant, Conjurant, not Construct, in this deck allows you to blow up all lands with Kirin. Okay, so this is going to put me down to 7. But then I only take 6 to the birds, so I can just chill here. No reason to do anything, right? 2, 4, I'm at 7. So I get to Violent Titania. I think I leave this one at 3 for now. Does it make sense to sack the Flagstones first and then target with Titania so I get to gain 2 extra life? I think it does make sense. I think 1 less token in exchange for 2 more life is good on this board. And then I guess it's also interesting if I'm probably supposed to tap Knight rather than attack with it this turn, right? Because I'm attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, I can channel Boseiju. Hold on. Channel Boseiju, grow the Knight. So I'm attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. That's exactly lethal. So I think presenting lethal here is the line. They have no red mana up, so I don't need to worry about doing these one at a time. Cool game. And then things also get better for us post-board, although I have to sideboard fast. I want to cut the Kirins, the Conjurants for the Forge-Tenders, the Run Afoul, the Endurance, the Solitude, cutting the... Oh, the timer's better. The timer's back to normal. I don't know if I can trust it. Once you heard my cries and my whines. Let it run out. I think I have to click submit. I think it's probably back to normal now, though. I don't know why it would be changed. No, yeah, you don't bog in this matchup. I think you don't bog. Okay, keep this with back Solitude on the mulligan. Yeah, I believe all of Double Masters got released earlier today. I can't remember. I don't think anybody like sent me anything like super exciting, but I feel like Double Masters overall looks like very good. I think Fabled Mirrorbreaker is good, or as Reduke says in the CFB article this month. I didn't read Reed's CFB article on Fable. I think that Fable is like phenomenally good in like the non-modern formats, and I think it is like fringe playable in modern, which does make it a very good card. I think that it is true that like some players are of the opinion that Fable the Mirrorbreaker is like better than like every other 3-drop in red decks in modern, and like you should be playing a ton of them. And that's like not how I evaluate the card. I think outside of like creativity decks, I think it's like worse than other options, but maybe you get to play it in addition to other cards in some decks. You still think Cascade decks are probably enough for 2 Void Mirror and Chalice red black? I think so, especially because like I feel pretty comfortable with like my sideboard plans and like every other matchup with red black at the moment. And you know, living it is also like so scary that I think you need them. Hashtag sequencing. I should let them connive before the lantern, I guess. My Marty Discord has debated back and forth on Fable versus Spyro. Yeah, I think that Spyro is like, at least in Rakdos, is way better. And like here's like one thing too. It's like if you're not playing Seasoned Pyromancer, your Fables are way worse because like you have like basically nothing to copy with your Reflection. And in Rakdos specifically, I'm not sure, you know, what Mardu decks are looking like these days. But in like specifically Rakdos, like if you have to play Fable and Spyro, like because Fable, I think, is like much worse without Spyro in the deck, which is not, you know, in my opinion, a glowing review for the card. I like the Jeskai Fervent Blade too. I would recommend it if it is a deck you're feeling. What do you think is a better position right now? Karn, Amulet, or more focused combo variant? I'm not like intimately familiar enough with like Titan plans to tell you for sure what's better right now. But you know, maybe with the uptick in like the Valakut decks and Tron decks, it could be the case that the Karn versions are the best. Yeah. With Orb and Saga, you get that first 2 life is pretty free. Is Reflection good in Mardu's Shadow, or you can play Ranger Captain and Spyro, or is that too many 3-drops? Well, I mean, in Mardu's Shadow, I've been really liking Unearth, and so I'm not really super excited about the idea of playing playing a 3-mana permanent that's not a creature in my Unearth deck. How am I feeling about Double Masters 2? I think the deck's the set looks very cool to me. I'm pretty into it. Yeah. I realize we can eat the DRC here. Should we have Lantern on the upkeep to keep off Murktide? I think this is like way higher upside. My opponent only has like 2 cards in their hand, so I think with them like, you know, top decking and then drawing off the bauble for turn, I think it's just better to try to eat the DRC. Although it's, you know, there's a good chance that they can just kill my Saga token. They do keep a card on top here. Maybe they keep Iteration though. Okay. Well, modern, what's my top 3 decks for a tournament? Food and Rakdos have been my picks for a little while now. I'm not sure if that's still necessarily the case. I don't think I have like a... I don't know what my third would be. 1 card in their hand. Do you have a solution for blue-black dealing with artifacts and Pioneer? Well, I would say that artifacts in general are not that prevalent in Pioneer. Obviously, they exist, but there aren't too many decks revolving around like artifacts in the format. There's a handful, but I would say for the most part you don't need to. And if it's like if you're worried about like specifically unlicensed first targeting your graveyard or graveyards, you should play Pithing Needle. And beyond that, like you don't have many options because in Magic the Gathering, Dimir decks don't have many answers to artifacts. Playing the Scalding Tarn out, so it looks like they're gonna play a 5/5 Murktide, which is very good here. I had a Murktide in my sealed pool that I 4-0'd, or 4-1 the Double Masters with. I had to be an 8/8 a couple times. Really wish that like this was like just 1 turn later so I could get the Ranger-Captain down and at least grow the constructs. Okay, we get to attack for 5. And I have the Zuran Orb to help with this race some. Just don't have a Shadow Spear, it's kind of tough too. Oh, come on. If you type !Kirin, I did a deck tech at the beginning. Yeah, thank you, Heon. This is just like a quick deck tech this morning for it. Shane, 22 months, appreciate you. Yeah, I did get the limited token. So tomorrow we're gonna have a big stream. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to double queue the Magic Online 20th anniversary event and the Modern Challenge. The 20th anniversary starts at 9 a.m. and it's sealed, and then the Modern starts 10 a.m. So. We'll see how that goes. Why does the deck have no Shadow Spear? Well, we have Zuran Orb as a good card against Burn. I think Shadow Spear is nice against like Murktide Regent Game 1, but I generally felt like the Shadow Spear was pretty cuttable because like you already have this against Burn, and I feel like maybe the deck overall gets a lot. And you get Aether Vial a lot too. I'm not 100% sure though. I probably do have to trade a Sentinel for a DRC. Is it a 30th anniversary? It's 20th anniversary of Magic Online. Magic itself has 30 years, but it's 20th anniversary for Magic Online, not Magic. Okay, I don't love that Endurance grows my opponent's Murktide, but it only does by 1, and I can maybe block the Ledger Shredder. So I think we just attack first. Although maybe just Ranger Captain or although they would just respond with whatever they have. Dress down. Okay, I get to draw a card. Let's draw the card first. This is awkward because I can hardcast the Ranger Captain, but then I don't get the ETB trigger. I don't have... Maybe I should be playing the Giant Killer. I don't have one, though. Hardcast Captain presents lethal. Yeah, I guess that's probably the line, isn't it, then? Although they can definitely, like, they know that I have another 3-drop in my hand. Well, I think I'm just going to commit to not Endurancing them. And they keep a card on top with the Consider, so that's bad. And they tap a red and untap it. I'm definitely going to try to eat the Shredder here. Bird for dinner. Do I want to target myself? No. Well, shuffling a Solitude. No. I can't cast a Solitude. Okay, good beats. Probably dead now. Could have maybe played around that by like main phasing the Endurance last turn. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I can gain 8 life next turn, which technically puts me not dead. If I can draw like another 3-drop this turn or something. That's one hell of a 3-drop. It's one hell of a 3-drop. It even survives on Holy Heat too. So we need to dodge a Lightning Bolt. No sense in sacking Ranger-Captain in the upkeep or anything, since we just died a Lightning Bolt no matter what. We can block the Dashed Ragavan. Dude, this would be a spectacular game to win. Although if they can connive a spell into the yard here, we also could we need the last card to be like Counterspell or land. Or Murktide, maybe. How do we live? Zuran Orb lets me gain 8 life, which puts me to 1 after the attack here, right? Their last card was Lightning Bolt. We had no way to beat the Bolt. The Bolt was always lethal here. So we go to game 3. Damn it. Close game though, very close. Like we needed the obviously like their last 4 draw steps being gas was pretty tough for me. We just needed them to not have the Bolt. Yeah, it would have been a really cool win. Oh, sorry, I need the Sanctifier en-Vec. Obviously, I was sideboarding fast because of the clock issues. I think I'll play Sanctifier over Lantern. Maybe Lantern's good. It's always kind of mediocre, though. Maybe over Rallier? No, Rallier's pretty good, too. Second Titania? That could be good. Could also play Cavern over the Boseiju. I think that's fine, also. Yeah, sideboard is usually 2 minutes 30. All morning it was just 1 minute, but they finally fixed it, it seems. How's our 4-color matchup? We're 1-0 against it, but it's probably not, great, right? Boseiju hits Blood Moon. I'm not, too worried about Blood Moon. Maybe I should be. I'm not. Why is not Bog relevant? It's just very slow. It's usually not something I think is that good against Murktide. I think we could make an okay case for it, but it's it's just hard to time well, and it's a tapped black land most of the time. Yeah, you can get a deck for the deck type ! Kirin. We have won our last 5 matches with this deck too, although we don't have a 5-0 yet. So we're probably going to go for Saga token, then we can Rallier back a Saga or a Reclaimer. That's interesting. I think the Eldarmer's Call makes me want to grab Zuran Orb with the Eldarmer's Call. Oh, sorry, Zuran Orb with the Saga, so I can Eldarmer's Call for Titania, then Violet it in 3 turns. Which is a lot of turns from now, I guess. We already saw the Titania Orb being good earlier this league, too. Just gonna make them do this. Maybe they're on Dress Down. Probably not, though. Almost definitely red removal. Oh, okay, this is fine. This is actually super fine. They don't get their Ragavan trigger, and I maybe get to keep my second Saga token. Okay, so take up the Vial. And yeah, especially now that they've used a Dress Down, I'm just way more likely to want to get a second Saga back with this Rallier this turn. And then, although maybe next turn we're going to go for Hardcast Solitude if they go for Murktide or Shredder. And then hopefully we can Eldarmer's Call Titania. Pretty exciting matches so far. I'm also probably gonna sack this Flagstones to the Zuran Orb this turn. What's the commander? No commander in this one. Do you think cutting the Armageddon package for a couple Primeval Titans and Dryads could be effective? I mean, that deck has existed for a while. Fran has like really, I think, played every avenue of that version. It would be very different because like you're not playing the Vials, I think, at that point, and your Sagas are much worse. And I've always kind of disliked playing like the Dryad Titan package with the Titania package, where like sacking all your lands in your Dryad Titan deck's a bit awkward. It's just like not that good of a game plan. Eats the Construct. Keeping a card on top. I will trade Rallier for Ragavan, I guess. I think the plan is to Saga token plus Eldarmer's Call next turn. I'm worried about a counterspell. Well, would have loved to had the Endurance in hand already, but maybe I want to cast Endurance and cast Eldarmer's Call. Try to use Endurance to bait out a counterspell. I lose a Saga token though, but maybe that's okay. Probably okay. Okay, so maybe no, I don't think I respond to this. They can connive. So they have the counterspell. You have to imagine they'll use it on this Endurance. And then they haven't played their land, so before they can go land, hold up second counterspell, I'm going to Eldarmer's Call. And I have a hard time imagining that they have Spell Pierce in their hand here, but yeah, it's just like, yeah, Spell Pierce seems so unlikely. Okay. Probably going to be pretty tough for them to beat this, especially because I can even hardcast the Solitude if I want. Maybe better to make a Saga token, because I can Vial in the Solitude next turn. I think that is, yeah. I'll make the token. And then grab a Lantern. Play the Windswept Heath. Violent Titania. Oh, I forgot to sack the orb to the Saga. Sorry, I meant to. I made a mental note of myself too, and I just didn't. We missed out on so much value. So much value. Okay, I don't know how my opponent beats me from here. I guess Engineered Explosives. 1-0. So maybe that was a reason to not crack the Heath. Alright, no EE. I will be happy enough to lose to I can't remember the name of the card. The 4 mana, bounce all attacking creatures. I'll be happy to lose to Aether Spouts, to Aetherize, to Cryptic Command into Explosives. Okay, give us the GGs. You know, I don't think that this deck is necessarily super competitive. I do think it's interesting and somewhat powerful. But we have won our last 6 matches. We have won our last 6 matches, which is pretty exciting. I think it's a Giganta deck. So probably playing against Grixis Shadow. Hard matchup to mulligan in. Also, if it's Tron, we have the Kirin combo potentially. It is Tron. We're also on the draw, though, so it's potentially going to be too slow, although this Boseiju is maybe going to be my saving grace. Alright, I will Boseiju you, I guess. Hopefully this is like E-Tron and they have no basics. So a lot of times E-Tron in the main has no basics for Boseiju. And if they're not playing any 1-drops, a lot of times it is E-Tron. Okay, Green Tron. So if we can go runner lands, obviously we get to go Ranger-Captain into Celestial Kirin. Did we just fix our opponent's mana to like double Sullen Scrying? That would be so bad. But E-Tron had 1 swamp. The last time I played against E-Tron, they had no swamps, but maybe they were in their hand. Okay, they find a tower. We draw, unfortunately, a tapped land. Steve, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate you. They don't have Tron, though. They do have as a Karn the Great Creator. If they minus the Karn, I can potentially Elvish Reclaimer for a fetch land, and then I try to kill the Karn. If like they get like coding or something dumb here. Sack the land. I mean, not in response to the Karn. Like I would sack this in response to Karn +1. No, I'm not going to sack the artifact land. I'm going to kill the Karn. I'm going to sack the Urza Saga for fetch land. I'm just going to fetch and kill the Karn, and then this land is back on. And then now I get to Ranger-Captain for Kirin. Ranger-Captain for Kirin, sack Ranger-Captain in my opponent's upkeep, and then Kirin combo them. The dream. Dingus, thank you for the 11 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, so yeah, Conjuring, sorry. Obviously, yeah, other half of the combo. Yeah, and then if they had plus on the artifact land, then we could have sacked it in response. Feeling pretty good. With a Thragtusk, or they just didn't read Ranger-Captain? Cool. And we also have our indestructible land too. So this is just so satisfying. This is just the most satisfying. Oh man. Just passing back. Yeah, where's Destructotron? We finally did it. We finally destructed Tron, huh? Oh man, that's awesome. Alright, decided to play it out. And they didn't draw their land. Okay. Up a game against Tron. I'm going to bring in the Pithing Needle, Gaddock Teeg, and then I think we cut the Tireless Tracker Endurance. I don't know if we keep the Solitude in. Probably played Night of Autumn over Solitude. Yeah. Or maybe I want to cut the Lantern and play Tracker over Lantern. Or Solitude over Lantern. I'll play the Solitude. We get some water too. I'm pretty thirsty. Okay, Giver. I think the opponent will usually bring in some removal, so I think I want to keep the Giver in. Giver can also be an answer to Wormcoil. Oh no, I'm blurry again. We're currently on a 6-match win streak. I really want to... It'd be awesome to like win 9 matches in a row with the brew. So the decision to get Spanish Orcs in the deck tech. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I talked much about them. I do have one Hierarch as a Ranger Captain target, but you know, when you're playing... Like, Mana Dorks in general are kind of weak. I think that in the format with Fury, Solitude, Ragavan... So yeah, Ridden 6, Fury, Ragavan, I think are like the 3 things that make me not like Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarch very much. And then we also already have, you know, 4 Vial, 4 Reclaimer, 4 Esper Sentinel, which are all like better 1-drops anyways, so I'm not like that interested in like even being more in on the 1-drops. I'm gonna keep this hand. Hopefully Teeg buys us time for us to find our Ugin's Conjurant. yeah. Whenever I rant about politics, I go 7-0. So we should probably play Spellskite turn 2, right? Since they're not gonna have Tron this next turn. Yeah, opponent keeps keeping no turn 3 Tron hands. It's been pretty satisfying lately too to be building like some solid Aether Vial decks. It's kind of been a while. My someone likes to bling out my deck. I mean, I don't mind the idea of blinging out my decks. I'm also like not wealthy enough to afford to bling out all my decks or anything. So my opponent has a Force of Vigor here. We get to draw a card, but Force of Vigor would set me back pretty far. Although if they do have the Force, they're probably going to respond to the Spellskite now. Am I still happy with is a Delver 75 earlier this week to have changes? I mean, I did get my play-in token. I did well at the tournament with it, so I'm at least satisfied. Really need to find a Kirin or Ranger-Captain or Eldomri's Call. Although the Gaddock Teeg is really good against them too. I don't know, like for the most part, I've never like really found that like buying like super fancy editions of cards or foils has been a good use of my money. As you know, as cool as they are, and you know, sometimes I'll open them or trade for them. I very rarely find like having like expensive versions and fancy versions of cards to be a good use of money. Kind of surprised to see more Boseiju in the sideboard. I almost only ever have extra Boseiju in the sideboard if I have like Rin and 6 to recur them. I'm not really of the opinion that Boseiju is like a super good sideboard card without Rin and 6. I do like Old Border. I have a soft spot for Old Border stuff. I have like Old Border Thoughtseizes and everything Old Border that I can usually. That's maybe my exception, my weakness. Opponent finds a Sanctum of Ugin. Still no Tron. Alright, so love to draw Ranger-Captain or Kirin to just end this. Not quite that lucky. So I know they have Karn the Great Creator. They can't cast it because of Teeg. I think I should name Oblivion Stone. We have lethal next turn. I guess they didn't have Force of Vigor after all either. Oh yeah, they definitely don't have Force of Vigor. They revealed Giganta. Whoops. They do have a Blast Zone, which can kill these 3 permanents. Instead they cast Thragtusk, which puts them back up to 15. Doing a good job stabilizing. Gonna take this up so I can Violin my Kirin. Okay. They don't have Dismember. Yeah, no Dismember either. My opponent takes 12. Okay, it's kind of weird for them to just take 12 here. Now we've got a Lethal Kirin. They play the Sanctums. We beat Wormcoil now. I have a type exclamation point deck tech salmon. You can get some info there. Thank you, Doc. Ooh, very graceful Celestial Kirin for the win. This was a good match. We've now won our last 7 matches in a row, which is more in a row than I thought we'd win today. Not that I think the deck's bad, but, you know, 7 in a row is hard to do. Even with good decks. But for the most part, I do think that there is room for a Thalia Archon of Emeria deck in Pioneer. Okay, we're on the draw against the Kira. Probably against blue-white control. I will keep this hand. Dryad Militant's probably pretty good. Put back the Forest. So I don't like these Dread Fugues. I wouldn't play any of those. I also think Vanishing Verse is like the best removal spell in Pioneer, is my current new evaluation of the card. And I would play the 4th Vanishing Verse before the 1st Fatal Push. I think that players... So playing against Belcher. I don't have a Needle in the main deck. I think I need to play the Vial. I would maybe just play 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Vanishing Verse as the only non-creature spells. I think that people are like really biased towards Fatal Push, where like Revolt, but Revolt is like not that easy to turn on in Pioneer, and not that the card is bad, but I think people overvalue this card, is like my current recent evaluation. I would also be really interested in playing 4 Brutal Cathar, and then that's like more removal spells. I would play the 4th Cathar over the 1st Skyclave. I don't think Skyclave is great. I would play the 4th Giant Militant over the 1st Usher of the Fallen. I would play the 4th Luminarch Aspirant for sure. Also, maybe I think maybe I would also cut Gideon Blackblade. So I would be like -3, -3, +2, and that gives you 4 slots for 2 Brutal Cathars, 2 Luminarch Aspirants, and then bump the numbers for 4 Militant, 2 Ushers, and then I would also maybe be interested in like cutting Initiate and the... I think I already said cut the Skyclave, but the Skyclave for the 4th Trespasser. I like Trespasser a lot. Oh, okay, this is not Belcher. Not Belcher. Well, really thankful that the Vial was my turn 1 play, so I could get through the Chalice. I think I'd play Saga. I don't think I'm too worried about Blood Moon here. Could be, though. And that would be my recommendation. I like the rest of the main deck. The mana looks pretty good. I like 3-man lands. I might play like 1 slow land over Isolated Chapel. I'm not 100% sure. Well, there goes my Urza Saga. Oh, it's just got Lotus Field. Cool. Oh, sorry. I just noticed you only have 3 Archon of Emerias. Wait. You have none? Sorry. Archon of Emeria is the best reason to play Taxes and Pioneer. I totally missed that you only had you didn't have any in the main deck. You should play 4 in the main deck. It is the best reason to play the archetype in the first place. I strongly recommend 4 in the main deck. And so I guess maybe you're cutting the Trespassers to make room for it, but I think you have to play 4. Also opens up your sideboard a little bit. I'm not really sure what these chop downs are for. Not sure what the Kuranos is for. Yeah, and you know, I feel like the sideboard looks pretty unfocused. I would play Rest in Peace over Hearst, by the way. Being a good Rest in Peace deck is like something you're really incentivized to do in Pioneer, and this is it. And I think that even though you can crew Hearst, you should just play like 3 or 4 Rest in Peace. I don't like the Infernal Grasp in the sideboard. I don't like I don't like the sideboard Hopeful Initiate. Yeah, it feels like the sideboard's like super unfocused. Like, you can maybe sideboard the Graveyard Trespassers in addition to Rest in Peace, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's cast the Emeria's Call. Thankfully, my opponent doesn't have a Lotus Field. I think I'm getting a Tireless Tracker, which is pretty fun. Base, thank you for the dark for the gifted sub to Dark. Yeah, those are my opinions on the format. Again, just kind of like somewhat loose ideas, but I think it's a good start. Those are that's the general direction I would go in, and I do think that the Taxes archetype is underplayed, underexplored, all that good stuff. Oh, sorry, I forgot the how did I forget fetch lands turned off by the Bloodstone? I guess I'll sack it to the Reclaimer. It's kind of embarrassing. I think I do this so I get another clue token, though. Oh, no, into the Bloodsun, too. This is so embarrassing when I've played so much Jeskai Lotus Field to just, like, punt this hard into the Bloodsun. Kind of late into the stream, huh? I will also say, like, this has got to be, like, the nightmare matchup, the Bloodsun deck. Sorry, chat. Alright, tracker down. 4 cards in their hand, Deluge in the graveyard, 7 mana. Okay. Okay, a couple good punts deserve another, huh? So I think I'm sacking one of my clues in my upkeep here, so I can try to Vial on a 3-drop we draw. But I need to take this up to 5 for both the Solitude and potential Titania, because Titania is like the only way I win this game, and we do have the Titania now. Am I offering the trade? Yes? Yes. So we really want our Vial to live. I don't think I want to expose the Orb to Prismatic Ending March, although I guess they would just kill anything else besides the Orb, though. Yeah, Titania does let me actually do something with the the Saga in hand. I think that's good enough for me, though. Rough stuff. This has got to be like one of the worst matchups in the whole format. I will bring in the Gaddock Teeg. Needle into Fairy. Hero of Dominaria is really good. I guess I bring in the Cavern, although they don't have that many counter spells. Don't think I could play the Solitude. I guess the Lantern, they do play 4 Deluge, maybe the Lantern's fine too. The Kirin combo definitely seems like plan A. Yeah, I do want the Knight of Autumn. I do want the Boseiju. Yeah, I probably have to cut the Endurance. I mean, I think I'd probably go down a Saga. Maybe I go down 2 Sagas. They're also playing 4 March of Otherworldly Lights. Although Saga's pretty important to find Zuran Orb, but sorry for being such a blurry boy. This is fine. I'm trying. Usually this has been my new strat, is to get close to it. Okay, we can try this. I don't know why I'm so blurry. Hoping, of course, for no Prismatic Ending. Yeah, rough stuff. Hopefully draw a white source. Guess we have to take an Aether Vial. Vial's not too bad here, though. Hopefully this is March on the Saga and not ending on Vial. Alright. Go triple land. Got a lot of lands in the deck. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know why it's not refocusing. It's been pretty bad lately. We can get a Vial off the Saga though. So I'll probably concede to a Blood Sun. Is that helping? Maybe if I looked at something else for a second. Alright, well, at least it was fast death. That's gotta be like the worst matchup by a lot though. Yeah, blurring out the loss. Okay, let's keep this hand. One land Vial, obviously kind of shaky, but we do have one land Vial Conjurant, so if we can get the Vial up to 4, which is maybe asking a lot, and draw one land, then we have the Conjurant combo. We've got 3 1-drops. We're playing against a Tron deck again. Certainly the spot where you want to Ugin's Conjurant your opponent. Maybe this is going to be a little slow. Okay, so I think we're just playing Sentinel Reclaimer. Our earlier Tron opponents missed their missed Tron on turn 3 and we were able to win. We'll see if we can get that lucky twice in a row. It feels kind of unlikely. See. Okay, I mean, they definitely have Tron now. Let me go ahead and I think Vial in second Reclaimer now. But then tick up. Okay. So I'm just gonna need to, we're gonna need to dodge anything too bad this turn, which is pretty unlikely, I guess. But if we somehow can dodge any, like maybe we could maybe be Worm Coil. Guess not super likely, but we can Ranger-Captain sack next turn, and then we can Kirin combo the following turn. Is one Yavimaya for Knight of the Reliquary too narrow? I mean, we just have one Knight of the Reliquary, so I don't think it's that relevant, but you could play one. Yeah, we need to dodge Karn the Great Creator, I think. Although we could kill Karn. Definitely need to dodge 8 mana or 7 mana Karn. Yeah, I can Reclaimer for a fetch land here, like I did last time. And kill the Karn even if they plus. They do minus though. I think this is gonna be fine. I do have to Reclaimer for a fetch land instead of a. They get a Ballista here. Okay, I still get to kill the Karn though. This is so back and forth. I still get to kill the Karn. But I do have to get a fetch land. And then I can Vial in Ranger-Captain. Upkeep sack, hope to time walk them, and then next turn we get to Vial in Kirin and Ugin's Conjurant. Can't Vial anything. I do get to I get to kill the Karn, chat. I get to kill the Karn. Until now, I see. All right. I could also potentially. I could try to commit to casting the Eldarmer's Call next turn, and I could do something like cast another Reclaimer or Hierarch plus Giver this turn. That could be better. I think I'll Hierarch. It's kind of close. About Asmo Food versus Murktide. I think the matchup is very close. I usually beat it as as Murktide for what it's worth, or as Asmo Food. Spike, we can't tap Vial now. Why can't we tap Vial? Doesn't call guarantee cure next turn. Yeah, I can just cast the call next turn. What? I've I've said all of my lines already. Because it's already tapped. I feel like the chat's just trolling me. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We're gonna update Red Black Midrange Cyber Guide. It should be like relatively up to date. Like I know it's like not exactly card for card from the last Channel Fireball article, but I also don't think it's like super different. Oh, this also kills the Ballista. I didn't realize that. I'm gonna cast the Lantern before I accidentally spend a green mana on the Kirin. Oh no, I opened myself up to Dismember though. I was just worried about accidentally spending a green mana. Yeah, Dismember would have been really bad. Okay, didn't get punished. Alright, GG. It's just so sad. This is the second time we've done this league. It's just the most satisfying ever. You were supposed to cast Lantern before activating Vial. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it killing all lands is the idea of the deck. The deck wouldn't be like very interesting or good if it didn't do this. Well, that's overkill. That's overkill. Didn't need that good of a top deck this game. Okay, so bring in again the Teeg, the Needle. That's it. Teeg and Needle for Soul Guide Lantern and Endurance. Why do I feel like I brought it? Oh, I brought in the Knight. And I was debating cutting the Solitude. I decided against that, and I ended up cutting the Tireless Tracker or the Rallier, I think. It was the Tracker. Just kind of slow in the matchup. Can we cut the Spellskite? That's probably a bit better. Now we force. Yeah, my very, very earliest drafts of this deck, like months ago, did play Brought back when I was just totally addicted to trying to figure that card out. I think I like the Giver. There's like enough removal to want the Giver. Giver is better than Spellskite too, I think, because you can tutor for it with Ranger-Captain. This hand can be a turn 3 Gaddock Teeg with a turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Not great. My opponent did mold a 6. I think I'll try it on the draw. Dog with Twitch Prime, thank you. What do you think is a good choice for Murktide? Blue-white X control is usually like the best decks against Murktide. That in 4-color Omnath. They got Blast Zone. Okay, so maybe very far away from Tron. And maybe I can just use Eldarmy's Call. Both of the Eldarmy's Calls to assemble the combo again. But they only mulliganed once, but yeah, I agree, maybe not the best keeps over there, huh? I don't know, on the play on a Molda 6, like you can keep plenty of hands like this. I know it's like it's the cool thing to dunk on Tron opponents who stumble a little bit, but it is actually, there's actually on a Molda 6 on the play in a matchup like this. There's a big range of hands that just have like Tron on turn 4. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So I think now I just tutor for Ranger-Captain, and I can sack Ranger-Captain in their upkeep, then I can Kirin. Alright, and then use Ranger-Captain to get Conjurate, then I can combo them. Yeah. Mulliganing is definitely hard with Tron. Like we don't know what their exact 6-card hand was, but like just the information that we do have, we don't know that their hand was supposed to be a mulligan. Is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm sadly discarding the Titania. Yeah, I have to dodge the Worm Coil. We know one of their cards is Blast Zone, one of their cards is mine now. We also have Eldarmer's Call to find Solitude, potentially. This isn't... They're not Foundation... Or this is Ballista. Okay, Ballista's fine, because the Kirin kills the Ballista. But they can kill my... They can kill both of my creatures, but that's probably going to be fine. Because then we get to go land Vial. A turn on land having to be a Boseiju seems strange. I mean, it's not any different than a forest, right? Forest Stirrings. It's still the Blast Zone. I just love this so much. Okay, Relic is interesting. Kind of. What if I'll +2 counters on the Knight of Autumn? No lands? Yeah, now I understand why Chad always wants me to bring in Fulminator Mages all the time. Okay, love to find another land. I think I'm supposed to destroy their Chromatic Sphere, though. This Sentinel is so good. And another Eldarmer's Call. So I think we take this up to 3. I may just Ranger-Captain for another Esper Sentinel here. I guess I could also Ranger-Captain for another Conjurant, and then Eldarmer's Call for another Kirin and do it again. That's probably the line. But we got back-to-back 4-1s. Back-to-back 4-1s with the deck. Our losses, the 2 leagues, were just like Hardened Scales and then Jeskai Lotus Field. Jeskai Lotus Field's got to be like this deck's worst matchup by a lot. We stumbled a bit in those first few matches, but it was also like the sideboard bug, like the sideboard. Oh, but the sideboard bug was like really getting to me those first few matches. It took, like for like the first like 8 matches this morning, we only had 1-minute sideboard timers, which was really tough. Not that I think they necessarily cost us any of those first 3 matches. I don't know. But I think this is a good stopping point. This deck was really cool. I would play it again. I'm really happy it finally came together because I've been working on it all week. I probably spent like 10 hours this week working on this Selesnya deck and just finally getting into a point where I'm like happy enough to stream it. And I'm really happy we had a good day with it. This is a different draft. Tomorrow is the Magic Online 20th anniversary tournament event.